Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Pesachim Perek Yod Mishnah Gimal. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss the eating of vegetables and maror. So, the order of the seder, right? You had kadesh, right? That we mentioned before. We didn't mention, urchatz over here. We're jumping now into the what we call karpas. Now, normally, Harambam explains this, and we're going to take Harambam's approach, maybe a little different than ours that we do today, but we'll understand how he did it. So, normally, a person would take any vegetable for karpas. He would say bore pri adam on it. He would dip it in the haroset. Also, interestingly enough, so if it was a celery, he dip it in the haroset. And as he said, he made a bore pri adam on that. And only later, when he gets to the achilat matzah and then the maror, he would go ahead and make the beracha for al achilat maror when he gets to the maror itself. But he wouldn't say bore pri adama on that maror because he already said it on the karpas. Right, so that's the norm. Let's say though someone doesn't have additional vegetables. They don't have celery. All they have is maror with them on the table. So what would they do in that case? So the way Harambam explains it, and that's going to be our Mishnah, is he would take the maror earlier on, right, in place of the karpas. He would say bore pri adam over there. He would also say alachilat maror because he is eating maror at that time. He dip it in the haroset as well, and he would eat it in that place. Right, that's going to be the order. Now, normally, why do we have two vegetables? Why would we have karpas and maror? What's the point of that? So Rambam says. We do that because there's difference. So kadesh yishala ben. So the kid asks, right? So that's going to be our Mishnah. So Haviu lefanav. Now they brought it in front of him. They bring the table in front of him. Metabel bahazeret, right? Metabel. A lot of people explain it as dip. Harambam says it means metapel, right? He's mitasek. He's just using it, right? He's playing around with it, with all the yarakot, right? With all the vegetables. Metabel bahazeret, right? Meaning he'll dip it if he only had, that's all he had, it's the only vegetable he had was hazeret, haros was the maror. He would actually use it earlier on in place of the karpas adshu magia la parperet lapat, until he reaches the parperet, right, until the actual maror and lapat, meaning the matzah that he's having later on. Now they bring in front of him the matzah and the hazeret, the maror and the haroset. Right, the haroset over here, Harambam actually gives us his the way he actually made it. Right, so he actually speaks about it. He said they would actually take the haroset, they would soak either figs or dates. Interestingly enough, right, we only use dates. We use dates today. He said figs or dates, and then they would cook them until they became very, very soft. Then they would actually almost knead it with vinegar, and then add a little, some type of spice to it afterwards. He mentioned some over here. One of them could be even a type of hyssop or zata that they would actually mix in without grinding it, and that would be their haroset. And that's how they would eat it, right? They would go ahead and then dip their maror into that haroset. Alpha pish and haroset mitzvah, even though the haroset itself is not a mitzvah, right? Rabbi Tzadok Omer mitzvah, right? Rabbi Tzadok, he says it is a mitzvah, and according to him, you would have to make the beracha asher kedishan mitzvah al achirat haroset, right? That would be that would be the beracha because it's a mitzvah. Halacha is not like him. That's what Harambam says over here. Interestingly enough, in the chibur, right, in the Mishneh Torah, he says that it is the halacha, but you don't make a beracha on it. Right, so interesting. Bring that down. Uba mikdash, right, in the Bet Mikdash. At this point, mevim lefanav gufo shel Pesach. They would bring in front of them now the actual korban Pesach, and this is when they would eat.